One of the most common questions I get is how hard should you actually train? It's a tricky thing to know, right? If you push too hard, you don't recover the next day. You don't push hard enough, you don't actually get results. Today I'm going to break down the exact way I structure my workouts in terms of pushing to failure to make sure I can still live a life, but also get the results I want. Also, at the end, I'm going to give you a little test you can apply to see if you're overtraining. Let's get into it. As with most of the videos I make, I'm going to keep this pretty raw and uncut. I tend to think my audience is a little bit older, so I'm not going to TikTokify it. I'm not going to have rapid cuts between shit. You're going to sit down and you're going to listen. 5 minutes, we're going to learn all you need to know about training hard, starting with the way I structure my sets. So, almost every exercise, I'll do 3 or 4 sets with a maximum of 2 or 3 working sets. What does this mean? We're going to push these working sets quite close to failure. Not absolute failure. We're not going to be shaking and quivering. We're going to go as close to failure as you can when you've got 1 or 2 reps still left in the tank. Very important thing to note here. Most people's definition of failure needs to be upped a little bit. When I train people, what I often see is they start to quit and give up when they've still got 4 or 5 reps left. So the way I measure this, when you think it's time to fail, you've typically got around 5 reps left. So we're going to do 4 of those reps. You get to the point where it starts to really hurt, 4 more, and then you're done. So every exercise, 2 or 3 working sets where you push to that point of failure, do 4 more reps, push yourself through those 4, that's your set done. 2 or 3 working sets like this for every exercise. A technique I always get my clients to do to make sure they're actually getting enough out of their workouts is one big superset, drop set, or extreme failure set every workout. Just one. Any more than one, you tend to burn out, you're not going to recover. A big thing with me, and a big thing I tell all my clients is we're training to improve our life. Our training shouldn't make the rest of life absolutely unlivable. If you're 17, 18, 19, you've got no responsibilities, you can absolutely destroy yourself at your workouts and just pay the price for the rest of life. But if you're an adult, you got a job, you're a busy person, you'll still need to be able to perform in the rest of life. So we're going to reserve our absolute obliteration set for just 1 set per workout. What does this obliteration set look like? This is where I employ one of my famous intensity techniques. A favorite one, probably one you've heard of, supersets, drop sets. I have things like double up sets too, burn off sets, all these different techniques where you take yourself to the point of failure. So like we talked about, you get to the point where it feels hard, you do 4 more reps, really pushing through, and then you employ something like a superset or a drop set to sizzle yourself off and get yourself beyond the point of failure. Once per workout. In terms of workout volume, I'll do 4 or 5 exercises every workout, and I'll train 4 to 5 times a week. If you think I might be able to help you structure your workouts, I have a link down below. Click that link, we'll get it sorted. If not, listen to this next part. Now, the more astute observers of you will remember I promised you a technique to test if you're being overtrained or not. That technique goes as follows. You take your hand, left hand, right hand, doesn't matter, and you squeeze it as hard as you possibly can. If you've been overtraining, if your body's a little bit destroyed, your central nervous system is fried, you won't be able to squeeze that fist as hard as you want to. If you can still squeeze it to the point where your hand actually hurts, you're good to train. If not, maybe increase the amount of rest days, decrease the overall volume. If you got some value from this video, if you're going to implement this and change the way you're working out to train out harder or less hard, feel free to subscribe. I release a video that's pretty much every other day. I'll see you in the next one.